to London. We are at the Clubhouse in St. James's Park, not far from Chatham House, where we're celebrating Nigeria Diaspora Day in the UK. Please join us. Thank you. Hi there. Could I have your name, please? And you are?
I'm the chair of Untitled UK.
Right. Nigerian Think Tank Group, United Kingdom. And we're going places. All right. Now, tell us, what did you intend to gain from today's occasion?
Thank you very much. Today's occasion is to show the true colors of Nigerians here in the diaspora. And according to our motto, not what Nigeria can do for us, but what we can do for Nigeria. Not everybody here is looking for appointments or contracts. They will look for opportunity to go back and make Nigeria a great nation. Just like our president said, we are the greatest asset outside the shores of Nigeria. As we are celebrating here today, there is a bigger party going on in Abuja today. They appreciate us.
Councillor Sonny Lambert. So coming back to the question you asked, yes, definitely, that's why I'm here, because I want to learn from my colleagues here, from my fellow Nigerians, what ideas they have in terms of making sure that our views, and any ideas we have can be represented in different ways. Either collectively, we can do something that we at least help the new government, the new administration we have there now, to make sure all the steps they are taking, the steps that can take them to something that will make the life of every Nigerians better.
The one problem that we all have is that we all trying to impress each other. I can do this, I've done that. And I think the tone that you set, Bolaji, I think based on that, in my own view, my recommendation would be, first, we all need to be organized. And if we are going to be organized, we all need to know who is doing what, who wants to do what. And I think based on that, you can now begin to formulate a strategy or an idea on the best way to implement in Nigeria.
My name is Stephen Kifadu. I'm the Director of Policy and Strategy. In response to your question, I think a number of persons, when they hear of NTTG, this is the first thing they say to us, which is, we're just hearing about you. To some extent, that was deliberate, because we realized in the atmosphere of a new government and all that, it's easy to think of, once you mention anything, somebody thinks, oh, is that the next thing happening? Are they going to give people contract? Are they going to appoint you to government? Is this the new movement for us? That? So we thought to keep our head low a bit, let all that wave go through. Another thing we did deliberately say to ourselves was that we don't just get people who come well-mannered for the first week, and then in the next week, we all become punching bags. We just wanted to give space while we identified people of like mind. So in the course of today, there'll be a little bit more about NTTG. And you can see we haven't organized this for the crowd. We've deliberately chosen a nice place for nice people, if I may put it that way. So that the few who come to things like this are likely to be the few who would bother about Nigeria. Yes, we are aware that we haven't been shouting, but we've been supporting the government. We've been trying to do policies. We've been trying to talk to them. We've been trying to engage them. But of course, the more, the merrier. So long it is not too many hands that spoil the proof. Thank you.
The High Commissioner himself is stuck with the Egyptian ambassador.
Peace and unity.
I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory, So help me God.
May I invite the chief host of today, the chairman of NTTG, Dr. Dapo Williams, to please take a seat. Dr. Dapo Williams.
I'm going to whiz the microphone around this hall, and I'm going to ask some members of NTTG to please introduce themselves to you. First off is our secretary, the man that keeps us tidy.
Good evening, everybody. As you just heard, I'm the secretary of our NTTG. And my name is J.K. Adebola. So thank you all for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome the representative of the Nigerian High Commissioner, Mrs. Rasad. Welcome, madam.
We have another special guest in the house. I've got Dr. Timi Austin Peters. He is the chairman of Dorman Long, the engineering company in Nigeria. And he is the backbone behind WACA. May I introduce two gentlemen representing the two main community organizations. Chief Alex Ubaka Achebe, first Vice Chair of Kanuk, please. We have here Chief Dr. Uzualo, representing NIDO. We move swiftly on with an address from His Excellency, the Acting High Commissioner.
It's a great honor for me to be here today on the occasion of Nigeria's Diaspora Day 2016. It's a very good initiative by the Nigerian think tank group to organize this maiden event to mark the occasion. As we know, there are so many of the members of the Nigerian diaspora in Nigeria as we speak, marking this event in a very formal way. And I think it's quite appropriate for us also to be here, also marking the day in some way. My warm regards to the President of the NTTG, Chief Dapo Williams. To my right, I've got Dr. Timi Austin Peters, and I know his wife very well, Bolanle Austin Peters. We were at WACA, and I think tonight is the last show, and they've done very well. It's been a sold-out show the whole long weekend that it's been at the Shaw Theatre. So, and to my very good compatriots, the first Vice Chair of Kanuk, Dr. Achebe, how are you today? Very good to see you. And representing NIDO, the chair, I know him better as the head of Indigo. I see him all the time in that regard, more than I see him concerning NIDO. But it's good to have you here today, I see a huge number of faces that I know very well and that we relate with in the embassy. Very good to see you all this evening. I'd like to express the regrets of the Acting High Commissioner, Mr. Ada Simon Oga, for not being here today. Unfortunately, it's been a very busy summer. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on which side you're on of the coin, it's been such a busy summer, and the schedule has been very tight. He had to be at the Egyptian embassy this evening, but he sends his regards because everything that we do with the diaspora is very important for us in the mission. So if he could have been here today, he would have. So please accept his regards. I would like to note that the Nigerian diaspora plays an essential part in maintaining the strong cultural and economic ties with diverse countries and can be a dynamic asset in bilateral engagements and Nigeria's socio-economic development, which informed the Nigerian government setting aside the 25th of July 2016 for the commemoration of Nigerian Diaspora Day. I would like to appreciate once again the NTTG for commemorating Nigerian Diaspora Day in London with a view to harnessing the potentials of the diaspora for national development. I would like to note with joy that about $21 billion was remitted home by Nigerians in the diaspora in 2015. Nigeria, therefore, is the 6th largest receiver of remittances in the world. And this is no mean feat, and we're very proud of our Nigerians in diaspora for doing this. I'd like to applaud that the top 2 sources for Nigerian diaspora remittances in 2015 were from the United States and from the UK. With regards to Nigerians that reside here, I would like to enlighten that the Nigeria and the UK signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, on migration returns in 2008, which guides cooperation in migration, particularly the repatriation of Nigerians who have no legal basis to remain in the UK. It is important to emphasize that while the mission does not stop the return of Nigerians without a valid leave to remain in the UK, we insist that the following conditions are met before they are returned. We insist that Nigerians must be allowed to exhaust all their legal remedies. They should not be removed if they have a case pending in court, for instance. They must be medically fit to travel, so we do not allow people to be taken from hospitals or any other place that they may be in. Not just physically unfit, also mentally or any other way unfit. We make sure that they are not taken away in that way. And they must be proven to be Nigerians. You would be surprised what we get every day at the High Commission. People from as far as the Congo, Brazil, all other parts of West Africa. Once the name slightly resembles a Nigerian name, some of them think they can come in and try and get a Nigerian passport. So we try as much as possible to verify that these people are Nigerians. Also, some people in prisons or detention centers claim they're Nigerians just because they think Nigeria is a bigger country. They don't want to be deported back to their own countries, so they would give false names or names that resemble Nigerian names. But we are quickly able to determine, I'm sure as you all can do, who is a Nigerian and who is not a Nigerian. So for those who have stayed in the UK between 15 to 50 years, long stay, we insist that they must have relatives and or capacity to reintegrate to avoid creating destitution in Nigeria. There was one particular case where there was a gentleman who was born, I think, in France and moved on his mother's passport to the UK at the age of 4. And at the age of 40 or so, they were trying to send him to Nigeria. This is somebody who has never been to Nigeria, has no compunction of what it means to be a Nigerian, is British as far as we are concerned. And we have tried our best to make sure that such cases, we continue to maintain the rights of the individual to stay in the country that he calls or she calls home. I would like to stress that pursuant to the MOU, the number of Nigerians returned on enforced removal has continued to decline. This has declined in 2013. This is important because there were some news items recently about the number of Nigerians being deported from the UK. So in 2013, we had just over 2,600 that were returned. In 2014, 1,123 were returned. And in 2015, only 447 Nigerians were returned on enforced removal because of the intervention of the High Commission. We've continued to work closely with the Home Office on promoting what they call the AVR. This is the Assisted Voluntary Return Scheme. And this has been, we had, in this regard, I must commend you all, because through the community leaders and the faith leaders and other people in the diaspora, we've been able to get the information across, because a lot of Nigerians were not aware of this, especially further up in the UK, outside of London, where they give up to £500 per person or up to £2,000 per family to return to Nigeria if you find that your conditions here are no longer, interesting to you. And the good thing about it is that if you're deported, you are not allowed to return to the UK for a period of 10 years. But if you go back on the AVR, the penalty is only 2 years. And we have insisted to the Home Office that we have to be able to see people returning, if they so feel, for us to continue to promote this scheme. And they are cooperating with us in this regard. So I would like to also inform that the High Commission deals with Nigerians directly, as well as indirectly, through associations here, as you can see, the NTTG, Kanuk, NIDO, and so many other organizations here in the UK. I'd like to encourage all Nigerian groups also to collaborate, because it's important that there's harmony and there's cooperation amongst you all for us to be able to do our jobs as government officials, and also for you, the Nigerian diaspora, to be portrayed in a more positive light. We have to make sure that there's no rancor, and this is important in order for us to harness the potentials of the diaspora for the development of Nigeria. One other thing that has continued to baffle us is the spate of Nigerian kids being taken into care from the Nigerian community. So we'd like to, encourage Nigerians to abide by British laws so that we can check this untoward development. You do not want to know how many cases we're currently dealing with of 3 children, 5 children taken from a family, in some cases 7 children, and put into care. I'd like to urge members of the Nigerian diaspora who may wish to return to Nigeria to explore appropriate federal government programs for the Nigerian diaspora experts returning to Nigeria. We'd like to encourage you to remember your heritage. Please speak to the children in your language. Let them learn how to speak the languages. Contribute to the development of your origin and be good ambassadors of Nigeria. I'd like to wish the NTTG a successful commemoration of Nigerian Diaspora Day in conjunction with all the other groups here. So my warm regards, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. We're going to have Dr. Dapo Williams deliver to us the goodwill message from the Senior Special Advisor to Mr. President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa.
Good evening all. Our representative of the Nigerian High Commissioner to the Court of St. James's, Mrs. Folake Abdulrazak, thank you so much for coming. The chair of the APC party, Dr. Dapo, thank you for coming. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here is the full text of the message of goodwill from the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa. I'm delighted to address you on this maiden commemoration of Nigerian Diaspora Day outside the shores of Nigeria. While traditionally all roads lead to Abuja for this yearly event, it is a noble gesture to mark the Nigerian Diaspora Day of 2016 in London, at the same time as the event is taking place in Nigeria. I bring you greetings from the President, President Muhammadu Buhari. He is very happy at this initiative. In fact, what you have done is quite commendable and recommended to other Nigerian diaspora groups to emulate in other countries subsequently. Large-scale immigration and emigration constitute 2 of the most visible and dramatic forms of social change, whether through the arrival of significant numbers of the visibly different or the abandonment of another location. Migration presents great challenges to the societies affected and their respective political elites. The effects can be both rewarding and damaging. The Chief Executive of the Council of African Union, in its strategy on the diaspora, considered that the African diaspora consists of peoples of African origin living outside the continent, irrespective of their citizenship and nationality, and who are willing to contribute to the development of the continent. Upon independence, many African nations embark on nation building, leading to establishment of institutions that sufficiently nurtured many African leaders and highly qualified professionals and experts that subsequently emerged. However, These institutions have since been weakened due to the poor political and economic governance of the late 70s and difficult economic reforms of the 80s and the 90s, which drove away the emerging and capable human resources. Large conflicts that emerge and capable human resources, characterized by many countries in the region, further weakened these institutions and drove out even more skilled professionals. And these saw foreign investors and industries being chased away too. Today, we are focusing on the positive reversal of migration, which is how to harness the diaspora for nation building. This in light of the fact that the diaspora can play an important role in recovery and reconstruction of Nigeria. The diaspora, in the light of China, India, Ethiopia, and Korea, have shown that diaspora contributions can significantly help the transformation of economies. The Nigerian government has taken steps in the past to help the diaspora to coordinate themselves into an organization to serve as a forum for dialogue with government on the practical, efficient, and cost-effective ways of impact the Nigerian economy. But there has been no significant impact or any known cases of systematic engagement of the Nigerian diaspora. You, the Nigerians in the diaspora, can, and in many cases, in fact, play an important role in our economic development beyond sending remittances. You can promote trade and foreign direct investments, create businesses, or encourage entrepreneurship and transfer of knowledge and skills. As such, this administration no longer sees you as a loss to the country, but now as an asset to be tapped into. The approaches adopted by the Asian nations are initiatives that are built on shared development objectives between the government and the diaspora, and underlined by comprehensive policies, administrative structures, and incentives to foster an enabling environment for mobilizing structures and incentives. Diaspora resources, such as the expertise, investments, entrepreneurship, and corporate affiliations around critical growth areas. The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari recognizes the inadequacies in past engagements. As such, formulation of a diaspora policy is a key focus. This is to guide and formalize diaspora engagement into structured processes and procedure. May I reiterate that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is keen to ensure that you in the diaspora should be considered not just as resources of financing, but as development partners. We are also working with the Nigerian Identity Management Commission, NIMC, to register and enroll Nigerians in the diaspora for the purpose of mapping the diaspora and preparing a database that will help with understanding socioeconomic and demographic characteristics of Nigerians in the diaspora. We are looking into coordinating activities of various departments with embassies and that of government ministries to increase efficiency in building relationships with you and your groups. The Diaspora Bond is also a progress, and this will afford you in the diaspora to invest in infrastructures back home. Your participation in the bond scheme will afford you the opportunity of participating in Nigeria's development while also benefiting financially. Yes, there are still a lot of challenges, but we are working to smoothing these barriers, obstacles, to ensure that there is an enabling environment for you in the diaspora to fully participate in the redevelopment of Nigeria, both economically and politically. You are our prized assets. May I conclude by saying Nigeria has the biggest market in Africa, so there are lots of opportunities at home, even to develop an export market. I wish you a very happy celebration, but all hands must be on deck to show progress by the time we meet next year on Diaspora Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that delivery, and I guess the message is clear. The Nigerian Think Tank Group, which is the NTTG, is an organization with membership in Nigeria and also in the UK. Although it's called NTTG UK, but we have members in Nigeria as well. We came together with a common purpose of improving the well-being of Nigerians both at home and abroad through shaping policies for the benefit of the wider populace and positively supporting the High Commission as it strives to deliver its diplomatic and consular functions. NTTG cuts across various spectrum of the society, and as such, we carry the mantra, what we can do for Nigeria, rather than what Nigeria can do for us. We have successfully advocated for documentation of Nigerians in the diaspora, which you might have picked up in the earlier message. The availability of credible data will form the major steps towards diaspora voting aspirations of the Nigerians abroad. We have put together intervention measures to deliver to the IDP camps in Nigeria as soon as the logistics are actually concluded. As we put together security options for the transport sector in Nigeria, we did not lose sight of sacrifices of our armed forces. As such, in appreciation of the sacrifices of the armed forces, we did mark the Armed Forces Day in January 2016. This was first of its kind. We have made some material donations to the High Commission to aid processes and procedures, and we have pledged to even do more. Our website is www.nttguk.org. As diasporans, we seem to have focused on appointments and contracts. It is high time we change the market strategy and change the product. So here we are today. Thank you. I think it will be auspicious at this moment to invite our guest, Dr. Timi Austin Peters. I delayed saying so much about him till now. I spoke to Dr. Austin Peters about this event only yesterday evening. And graciously, he agreed.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know my name, Timi Austin Peters. I'm a lawyer and a businessman. When I was asked to come and speak at this event, I wasn't actually sure why. I'm not a member of the diaspora. However, I guess I used to be. I studied here for about 19 years, and then I went on to work for the UN for a few years in Switzerland, and then at the African Development Bank in Côte d'Ivoire just before the war. I guess the other qualification that I have is that I'm now producing diasporans. I have two of them here, and they are in the process of finishing off their own education and possibly getting some work experience before they come, or from here go back home. I did my PhD here in law. But I was always clear, which is why I never ended up working in England, although it was almost a natural home, that I came here to study. It was partly mindset, and maybe I was also fortunate enough to know that going home was a better thing for me, inevitably. So that was always a very clear motivation. I like what has been said about not looking for contract or appointment. I never looked for contracts, and I never looked for appointment. Going home was a natural progression from education into whatever it was I was going to become in life. As I went home, I set up a law firm, and using much of the education that I got here, up to tertiary, as well as my experiences working abroad, I was able to do a number of things, and I guess this is maybe why I was invited to come and speak with you, that you may find interesting, or an example of how your own paths may also evolve. The first is as a lawyer. My PhD wasn't in some esoteric, or arcane area of the law. It was very practical. It was how you structure investments. So I'm a finance lawyer. And you will find, and like I say, many of my friends said, okay, I was lucky enough to go to Oxford. So many of my friends said, you have been to Oxford. Why don't you stay in London? You'll be a QC and all the rest. Whilst that, to a degree, was appealing, the idea of all the other things that I would miss out on by not going home were more compelling. So going home was more interesting. Now, in going home as a lawyer, I've been able to have an impact as a lawyer that I don't think I would ever be able to do here. First, we wrote, my law firm, working with the federal government of Nigeria, wrote the pension law, which changed fundamentally the nature of social security in Nigeria. As you are here, you have developed skills and you have developed knowledge which can be of direct application if and when you decide to go home. But you must be creative. So when I went home, they were like, who is this man that's speaking plenty English? Blah, blah, blah. But I ran into Nasir El-Rufai. He appreciated what I had done with my life to that point. They were not able to pay me money. So I did this pro bono. I did this work for almost 2 years. I even paid my own expenses. It was painful as a man who had just set up a law firm with a young family to raise. But what has it done for me? Number one, it gave me a reputation. So anywhere I march around in Abuja today, say, it's that man. That man was involved in this thing. Maybe he has something to say, let's listen to him. That's number one. Number two, by virtue of all of that, all of the people who want to do pension work now troop to my law firm, and then we advise them, and there is a direct payback from there. I have a stake in a palm oil plantation. We have been struggling to get on our feet. Again, I'm not a farmer, I'm just a businessman. I see opportunities, and if I can put them together, I try and make them happen. Perversely, in this situation, we are able to find money. If you go to CBN, if you go to all sorts of places, you will find money for agriculture. What we cannot find are people to run it in an efficient, decent, mechanized, grand scale. So again, people like you, of course, maybe not the people who are residing in London doing law, finance, and so on, but there must be Nigerians in the diaspora who can do this kind of work. So instead of us going to go and get some high-price expatriate, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could run into some Nigerian who knows how to run a palm oil plantation, we persuade him to come home, give him a nice house in the country, and he can come and do this thing. It's a win-win for both of us. We started Terra Culture, which was to do essentially what British Council and Goethe Institute and all the rest of them do for their culture, for Nigerian culture. Now, in doing that, teaching language, selling art, those are interesting, but not really commercially viable. So Bolani bolted on a couple of other things. Firstly, a restaurant, which is where you can go and eat Nigerian food in a decent environment, as decent as anything that you will encounter in England or anywhere else. And then finally, she set up a small space. We actually thought it was just a joke. We just stretched the back of an ordinary G-Kappa house, sloping roof, just flat floor, put on one small stage, and we said, okay, anybody who wants to put on a play, you can rent it. Bolani did this for, let's say, 6 or 7 years. In the process of doing this for 6 or 7 years, she, as just a lawyer, developed essentially the skills of becoming a producer and, to a lesser degree, director of theatre. Now, weirdly enough, think of this. Weirdly enough, this tiny space that we just joined from the back of a G-Kappa building was the only space in Nigeria that you can say, if I want to watch a play on a Sunday, the only one. So if you stand up, you go to theatre, the only one that you are guaranteed, Sunday in, Sunday out, is this one. So God bless her for having had the resilience to have gone through this. But again, as usual, what is it? There's a payback. In going through this resilience, she realized that, I can do this. I can do this as well as other people. Now, this is where people in the diaspora come in. She only worked with Nigerians. We realized the limitation of people who had never worked outside Nigeria, who said they wanted to do sound or wanted to be some kind of director. They didn't really know what they're doing, and even some of the actors. Cue diaspora people. We'll find somebody who studied at Berkeley School of Music, just languishing in Nigeria. somebody else who had done something. So we now find, and when you go and watch Waka, you'll hear some small American accents. These people aren't fake. These are people who have spent 15, 20 years in America. The point is, as diasporans, you develop skills, you develop experience, you develop all sorts of things which you will always be able to put to use. Now, the last thing I'll say to you is this. Don't be afraid. Don't think that it's because of certain things that will allow. If you are determined to go home, please do so. Their families stay here, but they spend 6 months a year in Nigeria. It is possible to go to Nigeria and to thrive in spite of all of these challenges. Well, this is my message to you this evening.
Honestly, that was amazing, and I just have to jump in there because, these are the people that make the High Commission's job very easy. They come and they showcase what is available in Nigeria. And I'd like to commend you and Bolanle for everything that you're doing in the country, especially employing the youth as well. Bola Marquis, can you stand up for a minute? Now, I met this gentleman who's doing us proud. He markets Okun beachwear. For those of you that speak Yoruba, Okun means the ocean. And, he's in John Lewis, in Browns, in all these places. The Ankara type fabric that we call, Ankara, and it's known as print here, is what typifies most of the beachwear, and is selling out and selling fast. And he's in Nigeria and here. And
you see he's having to wear John Lewis or something?
We do have John Lewis, Browns.
Okay, fantastic. I'll definitely look for it. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oh, no, absolutely. All right, cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes. My name is Timmy Austin Peters, and I'm actually in town in support of my wife's production called Waka, the musical, which is being shown at the Shaw Theatre. And we're very happy that it's gone down very well, such that it's had absolutely sold out performances for all 5 days that it was here. Today's event has been particularly illuminating for me to know that there are many people in the diaspora who are thinking about Nigeria, looking about how they can contribute, how can they do so positively, and without waiting for any handouts. So people are not looking for contracts, positions, and so on anymore. People are looking for how they can get positively engaged and begin to contribute towards Nigeria's development. So the message I'd like to leave is keep on doing exactly that. Don't wait for anybody. If you have a clear idea, something that you want to do yourself, please do it, think about it carefully, make sure that you are properly resourced, and to the extent that you do so, I'm pretty sure that you'll be a resounding success of whatever it is you do. Young people especially, you should do that because you have a much greater tolerance for risk. Come to Nigeria. Nigeria is a very young population. Nigeria is a very dynamic population. Nigeria is somewhere where you can try all sorts of new fields. In fact, Nigeria in many ways, because we're coming at such a low developmental base, is able to do things which you cannot do in England. So you'll find things like telecoms, financial services and so on are much better. They're superior in terms of quality to what you'll find in America and in Great Britain. So come home, come and see what people are doing, and I'm sure you'll find somewhere where you fit in.
Kanuk is your organization representing your interest, representing your welfare. Since 2005, we have been working to promote the welfare of Nigerians. Today, we have over 78 community associations, professions in Kanuk. And we need your membership. We need you to be part of what we do. And we'll continue to encourage our people by participating in Kanuk, by being member organizations. By all means, you can always inform us where you hear next door neighbor or in a meeting. Someone will mention, oh, do you know that that man is struggling? Do you know that man was bereaved? Do you know that that family is being challenged because they have an autistic child, they have that, and they're not getting anything from the system? By all means, if we get to hear these things, we will take it up. We'll discuss it with the High Commission. We'll find a way to help. Going home, which has been mentioned now and again. Yes, it's a challenge. We want people to go home. But we all know that they cannot go home to nothing. We want to see again funds. How do we help them? We want to help our people more. I also can see that the creation of the Diaspora Bond, that investment outlet, will help us to have money together. But I do hope that when the scheme is rolled out, the funds from there can be tapped into. There will be, there will be a provision made for us in diaspora to reach that fund and use part of it to help our people who want to go home. The NINC, again, will help us to have more Nigerian registered without the proper database of who we are, excluding those who are afraid to come out. Nigerians should come out. They are afraid. It comes back to the word, to the word used by our learned friend who's just about there. He mentioned finally when he mentioned the phrase, he said, "Don't be afraid." But we are afraid in this country. We are in UK, but we are afraid to come out and express ourselves. So I want to encourage us to come out a lot more. Come out through your communities. Come out through your professional setup. Come out through your family meetings. Come to us. Reach the High Commission. Tell us what the problems are. And I'm sure we'll help as much as we can. There is no lost cause. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, there's no time and all protocol observed. I will go straight to what is NIDO, which most of us know. Nigerians in Diaspora Organization is a worldwide established during the tenure of the then president Olusegun Obasanjo, with a mandate to contribute to Nigerian socio-economic development through diaspora skills transfer and the promotion of inward trade and investment into Nigeria. NIDO is the Nigerian government officially recognized organization for diaspora matters. Most of you know that. And NIDO UK South works closely with Nigerian High Commission and maintains close links with UKTI, Nigerian British Chambers of Commerce, and UK Network. It promotes through collaboration and other means diaspora skill transfer to Nigeria and runs programs relevant to the development of the Nigerian economy. In fact, in the diaspora day going on in Nigeria, we have a project what we call Youth Empowerment project, which our chairman, Mrs. Sereta Abraham, and the financial secretary, Musa Ohima, and Ahmed Salih, the welfare secretary, three of them are there in Abuja promoting this. In fact, it's a training to train Nigerian youths on how to be competitive in different aspects of professions or businesses and otherwise. It's always good to say, come home, diasporans. Like my colleague said, there must be a landing ground, a soft landing. And we keep saying that before. Most of us live here. Yes, we may have families at home. Some of us may not. So if you land and if there's a proper channel, which I hope they are going to talk about, that you come, you go, and you will be, in essence, directed and helped to be able to show what you have, what is your profession, direct to the right place, and help you to get the accommodation and others that we need. Most of us will go home. I know those who have said, yeah, you go half year, but every time it's on our own effort. The government must take responsibility. Nigerian government can do that if we have a proper management of our fund. That can help to make most of us to come before and also be able to develop the nation. During the days in the 70s, when you finish, everybody was rushing to go home, because when you get home, you have a place to work, you have a house, everything is there. But it's not, you can't find such things nowadays. And we are calling on the federal government to make sure that that kind of provision is brought back, because we need that to be able to attract most of the diasporans home. And not only that, the security of the diasporans is very, very, in fact, the whole Nigeria is very important. They think we are there to take their job, to challenge them and then push them away, and you become the greatest enemy for your own fellow Nigerians. Not minding that we are there to help, but all these things need to be discussed and enlightened. I don't want to go further, but I commend the Nigerian think tank group for bringing this initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.
Just to let you know that we're in the process of organizing a town hall gathering to assist the High Commission to interact with the Nigerians. So we've been given, various leads. So soon we shall be advertising that. It's going to be an interactive session whereby the Nigerian community will be meeting with the High Commission, so they tell them what we do, how we do, and what we don't do. Because a lot of people are confused; they don't even know what, all these things that the Nigerian High Commission does. So we shall be getting in touch with various bodies when this town hall meeting will be taking place. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Ever so swift. Yes, I know a lot of people have questions, but the time does not permit in any way, unfortunately. That's why we have to do a town hall later.
Excellency, the representative of a High Commissioner, Mrs. Abdulrazak, all protocols observed. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of NTTG, I'm saying we feel highly honored to have you here such a short notice. Not just getting here and creating time, but contributions and participating much more than expected because of the time constraint. We do apologize, like we already said. Be on the lookout for emails from us, NTTG, to continue this discussion. Now we want to wish you a safe journey home, and thank you.
Just in case you want to write to NTTG directly rather than the email address that was used for the invite, NTTG email address is nttg.uk@outlook.com. Thank you all.
I'm Mrs. Falake Abdulrazak, Minister, Head Consular Education and Welfare Section of the Nigeria High Commission. I'm here representing the High Commissioner, Acting High Commissioner, as well as being here in my own regard because I, deal with a lot of the diaspora groups. It is important to be here because as Diaspora Day has been marked in Nigeria, we are very happy that NTTG and the other diaspora groups saw it fit to also mark it here in London. So it was important for the High Commission to come and show some support.
Fantastic. What else do you think the Nigerian think tank group in the UK can do for better Nigeria?
Well, there is a lot to be done, and to be honest, they do come to the High Commission and liaise and find out how they can engage. And like you heard them say, in the event they will be trying to organize some meetings to be able to further get messages across to the Nigerian community, the diaspora community in the UK. And this is very important because so many things, we keep getting messages that people are not aware or people do not know. You know, we don't, we try to make sure that we engage news media, we engage the diaspora groups, we engage all the avenues open to High Commission, our website and various websites to get messages across. So anybody who's engaged in trying to get our messages across, we are happy to partner with them.
Finally, what message have you for diasporans? I mean, people especially in the United Kingdom that are, you know, under your surveillance?
Yes, indeed.
What can make them live a better life?
Yes. So we continue to say that, you know, we are very happy at how much that the diaspora groups do here in the UK. The Nigerian, as you heard, the remittances very high last year. They continue to be high. They continue to be engaged in development issues in Nigeria as well as in the UK. And we can, you know, all we can do is encourage to make sure that everyone does a little bit more. You know, I mean, how much more can I encourage them? They're doing so well. Over the weekend, I've been in a women empowerment event. I've been in university events led by Nigerians. I've been in, you know, industry, trade and investment events led by Nigerians. So they are everywhere, and we, you know, contributing immensely. And we're saying, you know, take some of your expertise back home. You know, engage in the development of your country. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I see you both here. What's happening here? Why are you here? NTG, Nigerian Think Tank Group UK. Okay. Why do you think, what has the NTG done that makes you think they are worth you coming to honor their occasion?
I mean, they just set up and they try to make it. And I believe that since they've come up with something like this again, it's going to be fantastic. You know, because now they're not calling themselves a think tank. It is not about the government should do this.
Okay.
Let us do because it is not what your country can do.
All right, Kennedy. Okay. Do you believe in that mantra? Do you believe that they're telling the truth by saying it's not about, you know, seeking office from the Buhari government, you know, trying to get themselves into, you know, money? Yeah.
You know, I would say that sometimes the people that hold power not necessarily people positions. You know, they are the people behind the scenes that are actually calling the shots. Because the people, you know, hold power today, you're gone tomorrow. But if you have power behind those that hold power, you always be there. You always be the ambassador, and you will always be there. You know, governments come and go, administrations come and go, but the real ones, they will, you know, last through different governments. They will always remain relevant. That is why we need people, the think tank people, and basically these are the people that we believe are going to hold the power and remain behind the people.
I mean, these are Nigerians who feel.
Yeah, you go for the country, sustain our families, we invest in Nigeria, we make Nigeria proud, we are ambassadors, we are years of parliament, we are all over the world, we are experts in health, in agriculture, in engineering, in every field we find Nigerians. So a day like this to celebrate these achievers all over the world, and that's why we are the green, white, green. We should eat Nigerian food, we should pray for Nigeria, we should think Nigeria, we should educate our children about Nigerian languages. We should be very, very proud of the best and the greatest country in the world. Nigeria will be great again in our lifetime.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Here we have the NTTGians. These are members of the NTTG from different professions. Could we have your name, sir? What post do you hold in the NTTG?
I'm your treasurer.
The treasurer?
I have the treasury with me. I'm in charge of the treasury.
Good. What made you decide to be part of NTTG?
Because I've been looking for ways to contribute my own quota to the development of my country. And I believe through this avenue, I've been able to move things forward for the country.
Fantastic. And here we have...
My name is Olu Alakija.
And what do you do, sir?
Well, I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur of Goodwill Ventures Limited. We do security laundry, and also we do cleaning.
What's your own position in the NCTG?
Well, I'm the director of membership. I look for suitable members, people who are willing to contribute to Nigeria, people who are selfless, people who do not think about themselves but think about what they can do for Nigeria.
But what do you look at? What qualifications or qualities do you see in a person to join your to become a member of NCTG UK?
Well, if that person is a professional, it's good, but that is not the number one qualification. The number one qualification is your willingness, your determination to help Nigeria, to see that things work out very well in Nigeria. That is the main thing we look for in a person.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Here we have my brother. What's your name, sir? And what position do you hold within the NCTG?
My name is Pastor Ike Ofoche. I'm a freelance IT consultant, and by the special grace of God, I'm the Director of Innovations and Technology in NCTG.
So, in the NCTG, as the Director of Innovation and so on and so forth, what does that mean? What does it entail? What do you do within that?
Well, what my department does is to bring ideas that are innovative, ideas that will move the country forward, ideas that will, ideas that are technology based. What we do, what my department does, is to fashion out ways that Nigerian government, especially the present government, can do things better than was traditionally done. I mean, at the end of the day, we thank God for this government. I've always said that, and that is what brought me to NCTG, because they are just like minds. You know, they are a group of professionals who wish the country well. That's the starting point. They wish the country well. They do not think of themselves. They think first for the country. And I personally believe that God has brought Muhammadu Buhari at this time of need to solve a problem for Nigeria. So we believe in him. We believe in we believe in his projects. We believe in his vision, and we are prepared to help him drive the vision.
Thank you very much, Pastor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless.
What's your name, sir?
The name is Mobola Julius.
What do you do within the NCTG?
I'm the Special Duties Director.
Right. And what do you do as a profession?
I'm a technologist, and I'm also a political scientist, and I'm a political strategist.
What made you decide to be part of the NCTG? Why so? I can see that it's something that you believe in so much, from your passion and the way you handle things thus far.
What really drives me is actually Nigeria. Anything that concerns Nigeria concerns me, because that nation is so great and it's so viable. And do you know that there is no country in the world that has got more than three vegetations, but Nigeria has got all the vegetations in the world apart from Antarctica. So what drives me within NCTG is the fact that Nigeria must be great again, and we're sure that this will happen in our lifetime.
So what are your strategies, short term, that will make Nigeria as great as possible in the shortest time possible?
We're going to invest in the youth, and that is key.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And here again some of us here in Nigeria, some of us here abroad in the United Kingdom, celebrating Nigerian Diaspora Day 2016. Could I have your name, please?
My name is Asele Abigo Chinzo.
And what do you do?
Well, I'm a student at the moment, but
fantastic.
I've been in the business of encouraging Nigerians
what are you up
and
to?
empowering Nigerian women.
Fantastic! Wow. What are you studying at the moment?
Business and tourism.
What intention have you with business and tourism at the moment? Do you want to take it home and try and help us with business and tourism?
Yes, because hopefully I'll be looking into how tourism can, help the youth and bring a lot of more revenue in areas where we have issues, and get our youth to be more friendly and accommodating and make some money.
Thank you very much. And you are?
I'm Dimpo Obale.
Right. What do you do, ma'am?
I have a business called Idelium Accessories. I sell very, I wouldn't say cheap ones, and
affordable.
Affordable.
Good quality and affordable.
Exactly, and high-end.
good. I trust Nigerians because they won't come to you if they are Barogudu or
high quality, but very
fantastic. So why did you decide to attend today's Nigerian think tank group program? Is Mr. JC, they call him Mr. Magic, a veteran broadcaster. If you've listened to the radio in those days in Nigeria, in the 70s, that's him here, the short man. Please tell them who you are and what you do.
Like my brother actually told you, I'm a broadcaster. And currently, like myself, I'll say I'm the chief messenger for the Crenshaw Corporation, which is a media organization here in the UK. And here I am.
Fantastic. Hey, how are you, darling?
I'm good.
Good. Tell us your name.
My name is Sabrina Olufunke Elshadai.
Olufunke. I thought you said Olufunke. Tell us what you do.
I am a pastor. I pastor a ministry for prayers. So I'm interested in nations and I do pray, especially the nation of Nigeria, and to see changes in Nigeria and also other nations. And I also run a business, blissful function, and looking into how businesses also could be, relevant business could be taken into Nigeria and employ people in Nigeria. I'm here today to actually know a bit more about
NTTG. Think Tank Group.
Yeah, I'm a member of the Nigerian Women in Diaspora. And it's through them that I go to my office.
Oh, like minds. I'll tell you, eventually, applications, there will be time now that will be open for more people to join us. I mean, the NTTG. So you're allowed to come in and observe. We'll keep you posted about our next meeting. You can come in and watch. And
if in prayer as well.
Amen, that's why I was going to ask you.
Prayer.
Wow. Please write our name and seal it and put it on the altar and pray for NTTG always. I know you are praying for Nigeria, and we pray that those prayers will be answered by His grace in Jesus' name. Oh, thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Hello there. How are you? Tell us your name and why you are here and what do you do?
So my name is Stephen. I live in the UK. I used to be a student, but now I work in a housing company. Now I'm thinking of going to secondary school to teach mathematics.
What would you take away from here today, NTTG UK?
To be honest, I haven't heard of them before. It's the first time. It's encouraging seeing people that are of my native country thinking about how to improve the nation of Nigeria, thinking of going back, thinking of just doing something worthwhile. So it was really warmed my heart, but also gave me some inspiration of how to should I want to go back.
Stephen, thank you very much.
As you can see, when I read out the message from the presidency, we feel valued. We feel like a true asset to the country, Nigeria.
Now, tell me, how much influence, I don't want to use the word influence, how much recognition or acknowledgement have you gotten from the federal government of Nigeria? Do they know you exist?
Oh, of course. The presidency knows about us. The office of the vice president knows very much about us. In fact, because of part of our activities, like I said, we don't wait for what we want to gain from Nigeria, but what we can do. When we celebrated the Nigerian Armed Forces Day in January of this year, we decorated the Nigerian Armed Forces with a plaque of gallantry award. We awarded the Nigerian Army for doing a great job fighting the Boko Haram insurgents. And we've also raised a lot of bags ready to go to Nigeria for the IDPs. And we are, like you heard when I said earlier in the hall, we are organizing a town hall meeting on behalf of the Nigerian High Commission, where all Nigerians, all groups and associations will come and then speak to the Nigerian government here, what the government can do for you, and also what the embassy stands for, what the embassy can do, what they do. Because a lot of people are confused, they don't even know what the Nigerian High Commission does. So they want to have a town hall meeting with them so that they can go in depth into all their activities. I thank everybody for finding the time out of your time to come and celebrate the Diaspora Day 2016. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dapo Williams, NTTG UK Chairman. Thank you very much.
But as I look and so, most of our head now this one a multi-generational disaster. Except we wake up and we do something now. Problems where they for ground, they don't pass it for example. Then a foreign exchange we go talk to me. I be like corruption make a talk to me. Oh, I'm sorry for Africa. Hey, everything just been son. Hey.